In today's video, I'm gonna make a sampled instrument by sampling my own voice, and I'm gonna get some help from the Roland VT-4 voice transformer. So this little box is a voice transformer, so you can mess with pitch, formant, it has harmonizing effects, vocoder, and an auto pitch function. So I'm going to use that to basically pitch my voice to a certain note so that I can easily use it in Sampler in Ableton to create a chromatic sampled instrument from. So let's connect this thing and try to make some sounds that are usable for my sound design process. I'm going to use the SM57 from Shure as the microphone for recording. So now you should be able to hear my voice through this mic instead of the voiceover mic. And then when I add some reverb, then it sounds like this. And when I change the pitch to this, I don't have to lower my voice, I can lower my voice with this pitch. Hello. There is a vocoder inside. What I yeah. So some of the effects in this box are perhaps a bit gimmicky, but what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use the auto pitch functionality. So I'm not going to use the vocoder or the harmonizer or mess with the pitch or the formant, just the auto pitch, so to make sure that my voice gets pitched to the nearest note. So let's go into Ableton, hit record, and try to make some sound. Well, if that's not embarrassing, I don't know what is. Let's go to Ableton and try to create an instrument from these noises. So I'm gonna dump the whole recording into Sampler, and there's basically 3 sounds that I created. So this one really goes from an A to a G sharp. Maybe here in the end it's a... I can use this part. Let's change the start and end points. Let's turn on the sustain mode. A little bit of crossfade. So I just have to tune it because now it's a G, so when we put the root to G, when I play now a C on the keyboard, you actually hear a C. I'm gonna boost it a little bit with a saturator. Especially when you play the chords. This is at least something. It at least is tuned to a whole note. Let's try to make something better out of it by using effects, and also see if we can maybe do something with the filter. First, let's put the release to 500 and put like 10 for attack. And I'm thinking to use the filter envelope here. Set the amount to -72. So you have that little in the beginning is the filter. All right. Yeah, we definitely need a big reverb on this kind of sound. Let's put in some notes so we have a better idea of what we're working with. So if you pitch it down too much, it kind of falls apart, but this is a good enough sound. This is the right kind of octave to work in, I would say. The sound is too static, so I need to create some kind of modulation. And I'm thinking something in terms of volume, so some kind of volume automation. So maybe if I add an LFO to the utility device, to the output gain. So I put this on 50, so it's 0, and then put this one on maybe 40, and put the rate much slower. And then put an autopan after the reverb for creating a bit more stereo spread. Yeah, so I use the Roland VT-4 voice transformer, not the gimmicky effects, but just the auto pitch. And I created some slightly embarrassing sounds with my own voice. And then with some sound design trickery in Ableton, I ended up with this kind of pad-like sound. That doesn't sound too bad at all, and maybe on its own you still think like, I'm not sure, but how I would use this is definitely layer this with a synthesizer. So let's go into Ableton and I can show you how that would sound like. So if I add a layer of the drift synthesizer here, and I would create a patch. Actually, I'm gonna copy the chords from the voice instrument. I'm going to only use the root node, maybe make them shorter. An octave lower as well. Or maybe actually longer. And then create some filter automation. So I'm just going to put in an LFO to automate the filter cutoff of the synthesizer. Maybe something like this. Increase the attack a bit. So the synthesizer on its own. And then maybe when the chord comes in at the 5th, so that would be a B. And then for the second chord, it's a C. And to create a bit more dynamic, let's add a distortion pedal, but then with the automation, so only in the last part. So the final result, the voice instrument layered with a drift synthesizer, sounds like this. So yeah, that is one way how you can use a voice transformer to use your own voice as an instrument, even though if you can't sing, you can still use it. Let me know in the comments how you use your voice. Do you create instruments from it? Do you create percussion from it? Do you create textures from it? Let me know in the comments. Keep making music and see you in the next one.